Here we are.
We put out a lot of requests for people what they want to see for Chanukah. And it was so interesting to see that how the shift, it could be because people have health in the mind and they want to shift away a little bit from the fried and the stuff, but it could also be this weather is so cold and it's so windy and it gets into your bones. We've got so many requests for cool soups. And the soup that got the most, in my opinion, that I saw was French onion soup. So now, by your Hanukkah party or a cold dinner night when you're at home, make a delicious French onion soup, and we're gonna make a beautiful focaccia bread with it. It's going to be...
Moishe has his magic, and let's see what we got.
Welcome back to another episode of Wine and Spice. Today, it's French onion soup. We're going to be talking a lot about onions. We're going to be talking about a lot of different things that are in the onion family. But let's get cutting because this is going to take a while. I got over here a bunch of different onions. I got some Vidalia onions. I got some large Spanish onions. Got some shallots. We got some white onions. They all have different frying points. They all have different sweetness levels. They all have different moisture levels. So we take off the top and the bottom. We take off the skin. We cut it in half. Very important. A lot of people would go right away and start cutting the onion like this. We're going to go ahead and we're going to cut it in half. This one is not such a tall onion, so we're just going to cut it in half. If it's a very tall onion, we can cut it in three. And then we're going to go ahead and we're just going to start slicing the onion. What I want is, I want smaller pieces. You know those times when you're eating a French onion soup and there's like one strand of onion dangling there and your beautiful, nice, clean white shirts get a spritz of French onion soup? So it's important to me, obviously. I like it when you're cutting the onions, cut them small so they're all gonna fit onto the spoon. See, they're all nice, uniform size. Again, cut the onion in half, turn it the other way, and just give it some nice julienne slices. Now, when you reach this point, your fingers are in the way a little bit, so you move away your onions, fold it down, and now you have a whole nother section to cut your onion.
Until I started cooking with Moishe, I knew one onion, the Zwiebel.
And the
Onion or a regular onion.
So
little did I know, even when he prepared it now, that they're different onions. How many different onions are there?
oh, there's a lot of onions. We can talk about the onion family. The onion family is actually very interesting. There's so many different members and cousins and different things. There's, first in the onion family itself, we have Spanish onion, we have the red onion, we have Vidalia onion, we have Cipollini onion, pearl onion, we have the white onion, then we go into the other section, you have the scallions.
So maybe one day we'll do a segment just on onion.
Oh, it's
just on tomatoes and just
oh, that would be amazing. Even garlic is in the onion family. It's very interesting, and it's a very...
So is there a reason why you picked this one?
Yes, because these are large in quantity.
Okay.
They're bigger, so they're also very sweet. So when we're going to saute them, and we're going to caramelize them, the sugars are going to caramelize. They're going to get really nice flavors.
So the first thing is you chop up onions.
We cut up some onions. So over here, I cut up already before some onions. I'm going to do real quick one more onion. So we're going to have a total of 5 onions. 3 Spanish onions, 2 Vidalia onions. Everything's cut up nicely. Now we're going to go ahead to the fire. Follow me, and we're going to saute these. Come along. Okay, pan is hot. We're gonna get a little medium heat, and we're gonna go in with some Klos Masora olive oil. It's gonna add a nice richness to the onions and to the soup. Because we're going dairy, we're gonna go in with about 2 tablespoons of butter. We're gonna let that melt down. Butter is melted, onions are going in. We're gonna let these cook. We're gonna come back every few minutes. We're gonna start, mixing it, sauteing it, and getting the color nice and caramelized. We're not in a commercial kitchen. We're in a home kitchen. So we're showing you how to do it at home. I'm used to doing it in a commercial kitchen, so I have bigger pots than this, but in a house, so you guys can see it. So it's real. So it's something you can follow. I didn't fit all my 5 onions in there. That's okay. We're gonna use it for something else. But for now, we're gonna start this. We don't wanna overflow the pot. We're gonna start with this. We're gonna let this go. We're gonna come back and mix it.
Meanwhile that we are cooking, we're getting thirsty, Mechi. So what I thought is, obviously I wanted a red wine, something warmer, but also I didn't want such an overpowering red wine. So I picked a Pinot Noir, which I think will be fruity enough, but also light enough so that it will complement the delicious French onion soup, the onions, the cheese. So this is an amazing Pinot Noir from Oregon. It's under 40 bucks. I think price-wise, it is a wow wine, and I want to hear your opinion. So far, you didn't disappoint me with the cooking, and I didn't with wine.
And another thing he didn't disappoint with is with these labels. I love these arty labels, these artistic colors and different things. They're so break away from tradition that it's something that catches the eye, you know? Your standard labels are, you go into the wine store, they all look the same. And then there's that one purple, the upside down something that, it's just beautiful.
Look, people label us, why not label the wines different?
You got it.
Look at the beautiful light color, which a Pinot should be that way. And I want to hear what you have to say.
I think the last time that we had a Pinot here was the
Artist Pinot. That was a California one.
That was my favorite.
It's delicious, but that one is like an $80 wine. This is Oregon, so it's going to be even a little lighter. Girlfriend.
It is very nice, very fruity, very full on my mouth, like full of flavor, but it is mild compared to
Cabernets.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy, I think, finding my place in the wine world, which I haven't found it yet, but slowly, gradually finding my space and seeing what I do like, what I like more, what I like less, what I like with what, other things. I think Pinot is a real runner-up contender on my list of my favorite
So interesting you say Pinot, because Mechi is like, I am an amateur in cooking, and Mechi, obviously being a chef, he understands flavors a lot more than me. But picking Pinot, you should know, in the world of wine, the finest wines come from Burgundy. And Burgundy, the reds, are mostly Pinot Noir.
Wow.
So
interesting. I didn't know that.
And that is a very big thing because it's delicate, it's elegant, it's like the French onion soup. It's the appetizer. It's the special dessert that you make. L'chaim.
Chaim to Pinot. So, while our onions are sautéing, we're gonna start on the broth. The broth is a very interesting topic for me because I am trained in fleischiks, right? Today we're doing this in a milchige version, which is the real way in the non-kosher world, but there they put cheese and beef stock as the liquid. So we can't do that. So it's either I put beef stock and I don't put cheese, which I do in the fleischiger kitchen in the world that I cook, or we do cheese, but we can't use beef stock. So we're going to start off getting our pot get medium heat on it, and we're gonna do a roux. Now a roux is fats and flour. Any kind of fats and flour, meaning you could do oil and flour, you can do margarine and flour, you can do butter and flour. It basically is a thickener. I don't like my French onion soup to be watery. I like a little texture when I'm slurping it. I like a little texture in it. So we're gonna get that pot nice and hot. We're gonna keep stirring our onions so they're gonna get nice and caramelized. See, they're starting to become a little translucent in the sides and the edges. We're gonna keep mixing that. Don't forget about it. We don't want it to burn. We want the sugars to caramelize. Our pot is hot. We're gonna go in with 4 tablespoons of butter. I love butter. You can obviously do it with oil. We're going to add a tad of klosmas or olive oil as well in the pot because we want to add that flavor to it. And now we're going to build a roux. So once our butter is going to come and become soft, we're going to add our flour. We got our handy dandy whisk. Keep stirring these. Butter has melted. We're gonna go in with some flour. We did 4 tablespoons of butter. We're gonna do about a half a cup of flour. And we can always add more butter or more flour as needed. We're gonna add a drop more flour. Now we're gonna let the flour cook out. So what's happening now is the flour and the fats are cooking out. And as you let it sit, the darker it's gonna get. That depends on the color you wanna have for your soup. Not everybody does this part. It's a cool tip. It's something it's a little different that I find that adds that restaurant style to your soup. It's not just a watery liquid soup. As I said, we can't use beef stock because we're doing cheese. So I got over here a vegetable stock, which either you can make at home, which I'll talk to you in a second, or you can buy this in the store. They sell it in all the groceries. You can buy from, there's multiple different companies. Making a vegetable stock at home is fairly simple. Sometimes you have extra carrots in the fridge, you have extra onions that you started cooking. You take all those extra onions, all those carrots, celery, some vegetables, you put it into a pot, fill it up with water, little tomato paste, some aromatics like bay leaves, allspice berries, and you let it cook. Let it cook. All that flavor from the vegetables are gonna come out, and then you have yourself a nice parve stock. I put in about 6 cups of liquid, 5 to 6 cups of stock. You could put in much more and make a bigger batch because this soup freezes really nicely. You can make a big batch of the soup, freeze it, set it, let it go, and it's gonna be really nice. We're gonna keep mixing it. We want this to come to a boil. Now, this is untraditional, but I do a lot of stuff untraditional. Soy sauce. It's missing that beef. It's missing that umami. It's missing some kind of a kick. So a tablespoon of soy sauce is not really gonna taste like soy sauce, but it's going to add a real nice umami in the background of that onion, that French onion soup. We're gonna go ahead and season our broth now a little bit with the Pinch 3 Seasons blend, which is the salt, pepper, garlic. And then later we'll taste it as we go on. We'll taste it and we'll make sure that the seasoning is good, and we'll take it from there. We'll re-season it, we'll adjust it. Check up on the onions. Onions are getting some nice color. They're starting to caramelize. We want to continue to caramelize them just to get that caramel color. Then in the pot, once they're done, we're going to transfer them into the stock and we're going to cook them for about an hour on a low simmer bubble. And it's going to get that sweet, melted, buttery texture and soup that we're all looking forward to tasting. So
Look how happy he is.
Cheers.
It's been a couple of minutes.
In the magic of time, check out these onions. Beautiful, caramelized, flavorful, a powerhouse of flavor.
Smells so good in here.
Now, what we're gonna do is, we got our stock simmering on low. And it's on really low actually. We just want a little bloop, bloop, bloop. We're going to be adding our onions in here, and then we're gonna close it and we're gonna let it cook for an hour. We want that onions to soften up all the way, to blend off. We want it to we want it to become one with the stock. And then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do our focaccia. Oh, that's gonna be nice. Get every bit. This is gold. This is worth money. Every bit of that onion in there. Beautiful. Give it a good mix. Oh wow, this is gonna be crazy. So at home, taste it. See how it is, see the flavor that it is, and then add a little more if you need. Now come check this out.
And it's the same with wine. At home.
Take a drink while you're doing. Now come check out.
And see if you need more.
See if you need more. Check out that little bloop, bloop kind of situation that's going on. It's a light simmer. Now we're gonna cover it and we're gonna let it go for about an hour. In the meantime, let's make focaccia.
Where's the glass? I need your glass.
My glass was still at my previous workstation. So, focaccia bread. We have this amazing product from Toscanini. I love it. It's ready.
I use it a lot.
We're just
I'll put it
gonna
in the
have
oven and I just put olive oil, not even the Betty Crocker.
So, we have a ready product. We just have to top it and make it to our flavor. It's a blank canvas, but it's a great canvas to start on. Toscanini focaccia. Always olive oil. Olive oil and focaccia are like best friends. Give a nice healthy drizzle. And focaccia is like a sponge. As it's gonna bake in the oven, it's gonna sponge in this olive oil. The inside's gonna get wet. Your fingers are gonna get greasy when you eat it, but it's gonna be that good, healthy, clean olive oil flavor that we want. We're gonna just sprinkle on some garlic. I love garlic. If you don't know by now, I love garlic. Garlic is one of my favorite things. Fresh, cleaned and checked kosher rosemary, fresh. We're gonna go ahead, sprinkle some of this rosemary on there. It's gonna be such a both of aromatic flavor.
Between the olive oil and the garlic and the rosemary.
Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and add some of the busy chicken blend, but it's gonna add such a nice, so many different flavors. Now to top it all off, we got some provolone and mozzarella, shredded provolone and mozzarella. We're gonna do it light. We don't want that much on here. We just want a light topping of it because we're gonna have enough of it in the soup. This is just because we're doing dairy. And when we do dairy, we do it all the way. We're gonna grab this, we're gonna put it into our preheated 350-degree oven for 10 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes, we're gonna check on it, we'll check on the cheese, we're gonna check on the texture of the bread. We want it nice and crispy, and it's gonna...
You're gonna be able to dip it in the soup?
Yeah, so it's going to be fantastic, Moishe. Just stay with me, stay hungry. So we got our oven ready. In it goes.
Looks so good.
Look at that. It's crispy, it's cheesy.
It smells so good.
It's oily, it's garlicky. It's perfect.
It smells delicious, the garlic.
Oh, it's gonna be phenomenal. It is so perfect. I wanna bite into it, but I wanna wait to eat it with the soup.
You wanna wait.
The soup
I don't wanna wait.
It's going to be absolutely insane. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cut some strips. Look at that steam coming out. And with this leftover over here, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna make some croutons that we're gonna throw into the soup. Oh my God, this is going to be insane.
The thing is with Mechi,
Oven on, bro.
I have nothing from just grabbing one because once we finish the meal, he starts talking about food again and it all starts from scratch. I'm getting hungry again.
Okay, so we got our beautiful oven-safe ramekins. We're gonna drop in a few croutons in each. I'm going to add a little bit of the provolone and mozzarella cheese to the bottom of it. Just a bit. We're gonna get much more on the top. Pan is hot. Always remember, everything in the kitchen is hot. Our soup has been cooking for about an hour. It was almost like 50 minutes.
Yeah.
I just checked it. The onions are tender. The flavors came together. I had to add a little more seasoning of the Pinch 3 Seasons blend, but we're ready. Take a look. Look at that beautiful, rich, creamy soup. We're gonna ladle in some of the soup into each one of these crocks. Oh my gosh. And remember, you can make big batches of this soup and you can freeze it. It's gonna be amazing. Think about it, it's freezing cold outside. Your nose is still red from coming home and your fingertips are still cold, and you sit down to a hot bowl of delicious French onion soup. Doesn't get too much better than that. And we're not done. We got some beautiful Swiss cheese that we're gonna lay over the top. This one's the lucky one. Now, my oven is set to broil high. We're gonna pop this in the oven for 5 minutes. We're gonna broil the cheese on top, and then we're gonna eat.
When Mechi sent me the recipe, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We figured that out after people sending us messages. And I love French onion soup, and I probably never tasted something like this, the way Mechi prepared it. And I was like, which wine should I pick? So I picked, obviously, as you saw, the Trilby Pinot, because it's a lighter red. And I think that it will pair well. But then I thought about white wine can also pair well. And you should know, real wine lovers drink whites in the winter as well. And this white happens to be a really nice one, Mechi. So let's try it side by side, the red, the white, and I want to hear which one you think pairs better. So let me grab glasses.
We're getting there.
So the wine is in the $30 range. What's so beautiful with this wine, it's it's called Vouvray. It's from the Loire Valley. It's 100% Chenin Blanc. And most of the people that come into my stores think of Chenin Blanc as a sweet wine, but nah. This is not sweet at all. No, the sweetness stays in us, between us.
We provide the sweetness.
Yes. Put your nose in.
Oh, it's like the first thing that comes to mind is in Toronto, they have that Old Maid of the Mist, that boat that drives by the Niagara Falls.
Yeah, I've been there, but I've been on the other
that
side.
Spring and the smell and the mist that goes into your mouth, that flavor of misty, salty, oceany.
Salty. Guys, while Mechi is schlepping it out of the oven, I think this would be the perfect wine of the week. While you think about how you should prepare your French onion soup for Chanukah.
Check this.
Wow! Oh!
Check this out.
Oh my.
Very hot pot. Just to finish it off, we got some fresh, clean, checked, kosher chives.
Chives
is another onion from the onion family.
Okay.
And we're gonna add it on top. It adds a beautiful color, and it also is gonna steam all that hot cheese and soup steam. It's gonna release all that oils and give you that amazing flavor. So, ladies and gentlemen, here you have it. Our French onion soup with our cheesy focaccia bread made with the Kosmosora olive oil, the pinch spices, the Tuscanini flatbread.
Let's dive in.
We're gonna dive into this one.
Okay, so how do we do this?
Now let's eat. That's always the case. Paisa, Chanukah. Then we went to war, we won. Now let's
eat. Okay.
Give it a little mix, so all that cheese. Woo. Check that cheese pull. That'd be focaccia. Oh. It's evil. Forget it. It's over. It's done. We closed up. I'm at a loss of words. I didn't expect it to come out so good. I'm serious. I'm not a dairy. I don't cook dairy that much. I'm more Fleischig. I'm more meat, and that's what we want. And it's just so delicious. I can see this by a Hanukkah party. I can see this by a cold night. It's freezing cold outside. Your husband or your wife came home from work. Their fingertips, their nose is freezing. Sit down to a hot bowl of French onion soup, and you can make this in advance. Put it in your freezer, take it out, pop it in the pot, let it defrost in the fridge, and then warm it up. Make some fresh focaccia.
It's very good.
It's hearty. It's almost like a main course.
I was nervous when Mechi told me, okay, let's do, we spoke about what we're doing. Finally, we finalized French onion. Okay, what else are we gonna do? He said, what do you mean, what else? We're doing French onion. I'm like, what else?
The texture. And I'm gonna say it again. A lot of people, they make it without the roux. I feel like the flour, obviously if you have some kind of allergy or you're trying to watch your weight with flour, it's a different story. But if you're okay with a little bit of flour in there, make that roux, it makes it into like a dish, like a heavy, delicious, creamy.
But also you season the focaccia, the Tuscanini. It's just...
It's delicious. So, another great video, L'chaim Moishe. To many more, let us know what you want us to make next. Because it's a long winter, it's cold, there's a lot of It's a lot of time for us to create new stuff and show you how to make things.
Write in the comments below what you want us to make next, and we'll see what we get the most votes and what Mechi loves most. So if it has onion in it,
Garlic.
garlic,
If it has garlic in it, I'm in.
Yeah.
Don't forget, Chanukah is coming up. Everybody gets stuck on ideas what to get their husband or their wife. I believe that the most unique and the best Chanukah present you can buy for your wife or for your husband is a bottle of Kosmos Soda olive oil and this beautiful gift box from Pinch. It's unique, it's different. You can wrap it up, get our new set of pots now on Black Friday with some Pinch, some oil, some pots. You would be the best spouse Chanukah gift idea
for yourself,
ever.
get a bottle of wine. Maybe you'll even buy 2 pinches after that.